Howdy, Sunny Sheriff here. And obviously Cass is over there.
Hi.
So, this episode of Sacrilegious Sunday, I wanted to talk about something that I bumped into in Facebook
2 seconds later.
back Hi, we experienced some technical difficulties. But anyway, I found this on Facebook just maybe 2 minutes ago. So I wanted to give my viewpoint on it real fast. So, I was raised as a staunch Baptist. I was not allowed to really have my own opinions, my own beliefs for years. And when I started to develop, whatever you want to call it, my own beliefs and opinions, that's when my family and I started to. But something that I believed very strongly is the verse in the Bible. I can't remember where it is found. I'll add it to the screen here. Provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. No one is really is actually completely sure what provoke not your children to wrath means. My viewpoint, and I'm going to use Cass as an example here. So, if Cass makes me mad, what should I do? Cass? What should I do if you make me mad? Obviously, you're not a child, but still, pretending you are one for right now.
Communicate with me?
Communicate. Yes, that's a big one. Now, what happens if you did something that made me mad and I decide that it's necessary to, quote unquote, use corrective action? Discipline. So I kind of already said something off camera. So here's the problem. If you're mad, you're not, can I borrow your hand? You're not going to do this. No. Sorry in advance, by the way. You're going to do this.
Ow!
Because, no, Ember, it's fine. So, you're not going to be soft, reasonable, because you're mad. So, here's my viewpoint. And I have personal experience to back this up. Both of my parents have discipline is what they call it. Sign for punish, but disciplined me when they were mad. So 2 things I can tell you from my experience with it. First, when you're mad, your kid's not gonna really take you seriously. When my parents were mad and disciplining me, guess what I did? I'm ignoring them. Because I don't care what they say when they're mad. Next is, if you're mad, you're going to do what I kind of showed right there. You're going to swat, you're going to hit, you're going to too hard. And that's the theme of this episode. Abuse versus discipline. When you're mad, anything you do that would normally be called discipline is instantly abuse. Why? Because you are not actually disciplining your kid because you want them to learn. You're disciplining them, quote unquote, disciplining them because you are mad at them. I want to teach them a lesson. And not a good way. So, that being said, how is the correct way to discipline? Something that a actual good man that I've heard of, I've met him one time way back when. It's the dad of my former pastor. His way of disciplining was, if he was mad, he would send you to your room. Then he would wait, calm down. And then when he was calm and thus able to think clearly, then he would talk to the kid first, communicate, and after talking and explaining why it was wrong, then he would punish, which is normally like a... Now, here's where my experience is. My dad had what I called the iron finger. Cass, I think, knows what I'm talking about, so I'll actually ask him to explain what that means.
What?
The iron finger. It's okay. Yes, my dad, I don't know exactly why.
You have it too.
Yes, I was raised, unfortunately, copycatting my dad, so I can do it too. I just promised myself not to do it.
You do it to me sometimes and it hurts.
When you and I are playing.
Yes, it hurts. Go.
But here's the problem. My dad
Go.
would become mad. Go. Go to bed. My dad would become mad at me for some reason or other, and he would start to thud on my sternum in front of other people normally. I actually can't remember a situation when he did that without other people standing there watching. So, that's another problem. When your kid is old enough to remember clearly, he's old enough for you to talk it through. When you're first response to becoming angry at your kid for doing something is to yell, hit, and not pay attention to if there's other people standing around watching, that's abuse. My mom, I have a very specific memory of her acting in anger. I'm not going to describe that one because
It's
it's a little bit, I don't want to say graphic, but I'd have to stand up, and I don't want it right now. Simple way to say it is my family's paddle became a 5-strike baseball bat on my backside. So, what's the common denominator that I have seen in my family and other people's families? Parents are always, or almost always, I've seen some parents who actually are able to calm down and then it works fine. But most of the time, the parent becomes mad. And that's the problem. If you become mad, don't do anything. Or, excuse me, don't do anything. Because at that point, it's become abuse. And please don't go complaining to my parents or my family, my parents, whatever. Don't go complaining to them because I was abused as a kid or teen or young adult or whatever. Please don't. Hopefully you wouldn't be able to find out who they are anyway. But any hoodle, please don't go find them for that. So hopefully this helped someone, and I will see you in the next video, and happy trails.
Happy trails.